Is Uber One worth it in 2026? I hate YouTubers that ramble on. So I'm gonna give you a short answer, medium answer, and then a long answer. Short answer, I generally feel not really. That's my honest answer right off the bat. Medium answer, if you use Uber and Uber Eats a lot, which we'll talk about, both of them, if you use them a lot, like they're your bread and butter, you use them all the time, it is potentially worth it. I will say that. It is potentially worth it. It's not all bad. But there's still a few different things I'm just not the biggest fan of. So that being said, let's get to the longer answer and look at exactly what do you actually get when you sign with Uber One? What are the pros, but also the cons? So first off, let's start here. Uber One is $10 a month. So I will say, if you think about it, that's like what, one burrito bowl or burrito at Chipotle. Actually, that's cheaper because it sounds like almost like $11. I think if you get like even the cheapest option, because Chipotle has gotten more expensive for some reason. Anyway, $10 a month. So it's not an insane amount. So I don't want to start there. That means when I go down here, you could see, first off, let's talk about Uber itself. For every $100 you spend, you get 6% back. This is important to keep in mind. For a lot of kind of subscription services that save you money, usually it's a discounted fare or fee kind of right off the bat. Like Lyft Pink does this a bit differently. Lyft, of course, has its own kind of competitive option to Uber One. This, you spend money and then get money back after you spend it, which is very important. We'll talk about that at the end of this video because that's very important. So keep that in the back of your mind for right now. Now, because it's $10 a month, that means if you're ordering Ubers, you need to spend about $167 every month in order to break even. Meaning, if you're ordering a lot of Ubers and you're spending about $167 in Ubers or more, this is worth it. So let me say that. Now, I will say it depends upon the person. For me, I order Uber every once in a while. I also sometimes use Lyft. I also sometimes use Waymo. Again, we'll talk about that a bit later at the end of this video. So for me, I'm not fully invested 100% into Uber. But let's say you love Uber. Let's say in your given area, it's only Uber. This might make a lot of sense, especially if you use it a lot. There are a few different things here, like automatic surge savings, get discounts when the rider demand is higher than usual. You can cancel anytime. Car rentals, you have some like options when it comes to favorite restaurants, 10% off for some orders, exclusive offers. These, I just don't think they're worth it. I used to have Uber One. Everything you're saying here isn't really worth it. The main two things are this. One, 6% back on rides. That I think is the big thing for most people that you're gonna look at. That if I spend $100 in Ubers, whether it's in a weekend, a night, a week, whatever, I get 6% back as credits. Keep in mind, this is not cash. This is Uber credit, as if you got a $6 credit card, or excuse me, a $6 gift card, $6 gift card from Uber. And then this, but we'll talk about this again a bit later in this video, $0 delivery fee. So if you do use Uber Eats, you get $0 delivery fee. And as you can imagine, let's say you order Uber Eats, I'm making this up, 4 times a month. Let's say 4 times a month. And let's say your typical delivery fee is $3. Well, if you think about it, at that point, for $3 times 4 is $12, you're technically now saving $3, right? So technically, and especially these are combined too. So let's say if you do use Uber Eats a lot and Uber a lot, if you just use that app a lot, you do Ubers once in a while, you do Uber Eats once in a while, this can save you a lot of money. So don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to bash this, but there are a few different caveats, which we'll talk about in a second. The first one though, which is the biggest one for me, is going down here. Uber Cash or Uber One credits earned in connection with membership are revocable upon termination of membership, except where prohibited by law. Your subscription charge is non-refundable once the billing cycle begins. And this to me is very, very annoying. So let's say this. Let's say I'm using Uber for an entire month. I have Uber One. And let's say after that month, let's say I spend $200 in Ubers, so I get $12 as Uber credit. According to this, depending on certain situations, that $12 of Uber credit that might go to something, gone. Completely gone. So you have to still be subscribed to the Uber One membership in order to get those credits. Now, granted, for some people, if you do use Uber One a lot, you might never get rid of this, right? I'll be honest, like for me, I have Amazon Prime. I will never get rid of Amazon Prime. I love it. You can hate me as much as you want. I love Amazon Prime. I will never get rid of it. So for me, if let's say I had that same kind of feeling about Amazon Prime than I did about Uber, maybe you're like, hey, Mark, I'm gonna use Uber no matter what. So I'm never going to get rid of this membership. So this might not matter to you, but keep in mind that is very frustrating. That these are almost temporary credits that can only be used when you have your subscription. With that all being said, there are 3 really important things that you do have to consider. 1, other competitors. What I'm basically talking about is Lyft, Waymo, maybe other rideshare platforms in your area, but the biggest ones are Lyft and then Waymo, because Waymo is now blowing up all over the country and now even different parts of the world. And I say this because it is not uncommon. We probably all do this. It's a Friday night. I'm going out with friends. I pull up Uber, I pull up Lyft, now I pull up Waymo. Whichever one's cheapest, I'll take that one. And I'll be honest, more likely than not, usually, at least here in LA, when I usually go out, even other parts of the country that I've noticed, Lyft is almost always cheaper than Uber. Keep that in mind. And then 2, Waymo is now starting to become a lot cheaper. And this is something to consider because let's say I go to order an Uber and it's, let's say, $30, but I have Uber One, but it's $30. But then I check and Lyft is only $22. Well, I'm saving $8 just by getting the Lyft. And if anything, by me using Uber, because I'm like, hey, well, I have Uber One, because I have it, I might as well order the Uber, I might actually end up losing money over the course of a month. Like, let's say the first time I take an Uber, Lyft is $4 cheaper. Then the next time I take an Uber's let's say Uber's $4 more expensive than Lyft. Then the next time I take an Uber, it's $6 more expensive. The next time I take an Uber, it's $5 more expensive than Lyft. I might spend, in that scenario, $15 more than when I wouldn't have if I just didn't have any membership and I just picked whichever one was cheapest. And then theoretically, I now just lost almost $5, right? So I'm just using that as an example. I know this is very simple to say, but I think sometimes it's very easy to overlook that in a sense, you're almost soft locked, if I'd use that, a gaming term, into using Uber. You don't have to use it, but you might be more obligated to use it. That's one thing I do want to say, that keep that in mind, that there's been times, I remember I got Uber One, and this is important, we'll talk about this a bit later throughout this video too. I got Uber One, like a free membership for 3 months. It was like a 3-month free trial, and I'm like, you know what? For three months, I might as well try it. And I gotta be honest, a lot of the times I didn't even use it, because I'm like, yeah, I can use Uber One. Yeah, I know I get some money back and everything, but even when I do all the math out, Lyft is still substantially cheaper. Waymo is still substantially cheaper. Why would I get an Uber? The second thing I have to talk about, Uber Eats. I do want to mention this because keep in mind, it reminds me of a quote I heard about Black Friday, where it said, if you spend $800 on a TV, but the TV is usually $3,000, you technically didn't save $2,200, you lost $800, right? In the sense that unless you're 100% going to buy a TV anyway, a lot of people sometimes when they buy something that's on discount or on sale are like, you don't need it, but because you see sale, because you see discount, you buy it, and you probably shouldn't have. With that being said, we all can agree, ordering delivery, huge waste of money. We've seen tons of memes about this. We all know this. I'm not going to kind of beat a dead horse, but we all know you go to order like, which should be, I don't know, a $15 burger and fries, but now it's $19 because, of course, every restaurant charges more on Uber Eats because they kind of get screwed over a lot of times by Uber and Uber Eats. And next thing you know, the delivery fee, the tax, the tip, the blah, 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 you're like, wait, how am I spending $42 for what should be a $15 burger and fries? How did it come to $42? And yes, with this, you do get $0 delivery fee. And I gotta be honest, at first, I'm like, hey, why not? If I'm getting Uber Eats, $0 delivery fee. But what I noticed for me, during those 3 months when I had the Uber One trial membership, I noticed I was ordering Uber Eats more. I'll admit it. And I think maybe there was some part of me that said, one, well, I have Uber One for only 3 months. But 2, I was like, hey, $0 delivery fee. And theoretically, when you really think about it, the delivery fee would be maximum. I think the biggest I've ever seen on Uber Eats would have been like $5 or $6, which is still in some ways, it seems like a lot, but the other way, it's only $5. So it's like, but I think in my mind, I'm like, whoa, well, it's free. I'm saving $3. I'm saving $2 sometimes. And I think it's kind of that typical bait and switch model where because I'm like, ooh, I'm saving $2, right? I'm saving $2. Yeah, I'm spending still $30-something, $40-something on delivery. And yeah, maybe I have Uber One. Maybe I'm getting some cash back from Ubers and all this kind of stuff. But I still am netting completely in the red. I'm still losing so much money because I'm more inclined to use Uber Eats. I'll be honest. Now, granted, I did kind of realize this after the first month, being like, all right, wait a minute. I'm kind of going a little off the rails here. I don't really need to order Uber Eats. Like if I have, like, say, I'll be honest, if I've been drinking and it's 2 a.m. and I don't want to be driving and there's nothing open near me and I'm really, really hungry Okay, maybe a little different. But there were times where I'm like, okay, it's Wednesday at 5 p.m. I'm sober. There's a place right down the street from me that I can easily drive to, but I'm just being lazy. And in my mind, I'm like, well, I do have Uber One, right? So that's something I do want to mention. I know that's maybe not for everybody. I know this is something that, again, I did realize pretty early on with the Uber One membership, but maybe that's why they gave me a 3-month free trial. I guarantee I'm not the only person to kind of have that sensation. So I do want to mention about Uber Eats that I think in some ways the good thing about the Uber One membership is it includes both Uber and Uber Eats. I think the bad thing, though, is that it also includes Uber Eats, right? And you never know. Like, let's say you're somebody, and I remember this when I used to be an accountant. Let's say you're the person in your office. You're a lawyer, you're an accountant, you're whatever, and you're the person that always has to order delivery and the company reimburses you. Well, maybe you save some money by being the one who always gets Uber Eats no matter what. No matter what, you always get Uber Eats. So this might save you some money. So I do want to say that it's not all bad, but it's definitely something to be aware of. Again, sometimes it sounds very obvious to say, but just be aware of it. The third thing, and this is the big one. This is the big one. Rides being more expensive. I want to say this, and this is important to kind of set this up. There's been a lot of reports. There's even one big report that came out about Uber Eats, about a whistleblower who talked about all the messed up stuff, the scammy stuff, the very messed up stuff that these companies do just to try to get more money out of people. This is probably not surprising to anybody. And I'm not trying to sit here and like bash Uber aggressively, but there's been a lot of reports of people testing this. If you Google like Uber One Reddit, for example, you'll see a lot of reports. There's been a lot of TikToks about this, a lot of videos where, let's say, your friend will have Uber, and let's say I'll have Uber One, and we pull up to order the same ride. Remember, I'm getting Uber credit back. So in a sense, I'm like, oh, well, I'm saving money. But my ride will be $35. My friend's will be $30. Even all things considered equal. So it's like, wait a minute. Am I actually saving money? Or is just Uber charging me more to make up for the credit that they're going to give me later? And I know this does, I'll be honest, let's be blunt, I know it does teeter a little bit on conspiracy-ish stuff a little bit, but there have been a lot of people who've tested this out. That them and their friends are out. They both go to order an Uber, but one of them has Uber One, one of them doesn't. And for some reason, it has been demonstrated in a lot of cases that for some reason, Uber One is more expensive, the rides. All things considered equal. Same pickup point, same destination, you're ordering at the same time. All things considered equal. Very, very classic statistic A/B testing that for some reason, the person who has Uber One, the rides seem to be sometimes more expensive than the person who doesn't have Uber One. And so that's kind of drawn a lot of people to come to the conclusion, is Uber One even worth it? Because what they might be doing is charging you more for that ride because they're going to be giving you the credit back. So therefore, they charge more for the ride. So if anything, to your mind, you're like, hey, I'm getting credit back. But when you look at the bigger picture, you're actually either breaking even or losing money if let's say you didn't have Uber One and the ride was a lot cheaper. I do want to mention this, and again, this is tough because I've not seen, I'll be honest, I did do a lot of research before this video. I've not seen anyone, I would say, algorithmic conclusions based off a whistleblower or based off some Harvard or Yale study that looked into the economic. I've not seen anything that what I consider is a true, genuine, like double-blind, placebo-tested, blah, 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 scientific study. I guess not placebo because it's a rideshare, but you know what I mean. Like, I've not seen any genuinely hard scientific proof based off of research or a study or whatever. But there's a lot of anecdotal evidence out there. There's a lot of cases. You can read them all throughout Reddit and online on forums, on videos, and other places on social media of people literally showing you, like someone's filming it. And you're like, hey, Tom, you pull up Uber. Jessica, you pull up Uber. But Jessica has Uber One. They both pull up. Everything's the same. And Tom, $30. But Jessica, who has Uber One, $36. And it's like, if everything's supposed to be equal, how come Jessica's is $6 more expensive? Oh yeah, she has Uber One.